To talk to us first is my good friend CCP Arrow. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell me more about, we're here to talk about the UI Modernization project and what's coming next up for that. First off, maybe to refresh our memory, what is the UI Modernization project?
So it started off early last year. All the UI developers came together and wanted to figure out what to do for the EVE UI in the future. So we came up with a strategy to basically address the things we've been hearing from players throughout the years, make it better. And we wanted to kind of dive into the reasons behind what is better. And it's a lot of things. It's, better looks, better aesthetics, better visuals, better usability, just make it kind of map more to my mental model and talk more like I think. Okay. So we've looked at a lot of different things. And the last thing that we did was release the kind of overhaul of the UI itself, the Neocom icons, and just the kind of overall look and feel of the UI itself.
Yeah.
But the next thing in line was to make icons more descriptive, give them more unique look depending on their specific roles.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that we have now. We are looking at trying to have more granular information about icons, not just the UI icons like in Neocom, but actually the ones that matter.
Yeah.
The ones that you use in combat.
The ones that dictate whether you live or die.
Pretty much.
So tell us what you're doing. What's the absolute next thing?
So we did the icons that are in the ship identification system for ship groups. And those we introduced only there first because we wanted to validate that they kind of worked for players and everyone kind of associated them with these different group classes. And we actually wanted to, at some point to introduce them to a broader part of the game. But we wanted to start there to kind of just play it safe. Now we feel we're kind of ready for that. We've iterated a tiny bit on those icons because when we introduced them to the ship identification system first, they were all visible together. But we wanted them also to be distinguishable by themselves one at a time, to be able to use them, for example, in the overview. So we did slight changes to them. You won't really notice it, but it's enough for you to be able to distinguish them once you learn how they look from each other. There's a certain logic to the different kind of size differences and the different purposes, and that's been even clarified more with these iterations. So that's the thing we're going to introduce for players themselves, and then we want to do that for NPCs as well.
All right, so let's take a look at some examples here on the screen. These are those ship identification to identify like ship classes.
Yes. So I mean, they came into that UI first, but these basically are just ship group icons, and they can exist just to identify groups of ships anywhere in the game. I mean, we could introduce this to the market. We could have this anywhere, and we thought it made a lot of sense to put it into the overview and the in-space brackets.
In-space brackets.
And this is the design sheet, but if we look at the one that shows the actual sizes, hopefully people can see this on the stream. So these are going to be the way you'll see them in game, the actual sizes in game. And there you have the ships themselves, and then you have the NPC enemy ships. So instead of having that the plus and then the brackets for the player ships, they are going to be the same. The only difference is there's going to be this little plus in the corner for NPCs, so that if you can't see the difference between white and red, at least you can see the plus.
Exactly.
And this will help you kind of learn. So if you're doing a lot of missions, you'll encounter these ship icons, and then when you start encountering other players, it's the same ones. It's not going to be something you have to learn one way when you're engaging NPCs, and then something completely different with the players.
Okay. And we're also doing new icons for drones, which is something I'm really excited about.
Yes, so since we were on the topic and since we had our pencil in hand, we started to investigate ways to do drones as well. And we wanted to hit on the same goals. We wanted to make sure that if something had a unique purpose, a unique function or role within the game, it had to have a unique icon. And of course, drones did not have that. They just all shared the same. So we went ahead and we gave each kind of purpose drone their own unique look. There'll be a logic to this as well. So there's difference between the different sizes of drones, and then there's going to be different icons in the top right corner of each drone to kind of associate the specific purpose that they have.
Yeah, exactly.
So once you start to learn the kind of size difference and what each class is, then you can start to kind of learn the purposes as well.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. So you can see this in space. It's really going to help a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, don't take my word for it. You can see here a screenshot that I took when I was playing around with it on our test server. And, you know, don't just take the screenshot as a proof. You can go and try this out on CC right now if you want to
Amazing.
kind of see if this is something that you feel is on the right track. We're putting it out to CC. We're giving players plenty of time to look at it and try it out and give us feedback. I'm going to be releasing a blog tonight. I'm going to be reading the comments tonight, so I probably won't get any sleep. And we're going to be monitoring that, and we will have a lot of time. This is going to be the release that comes out after Fanfest. We will have time to discuss this in length and iterate on the things that needs to be iterated on. So we feel that this is something that we can really work with the community to get right.
Brilliant.
But we definitely are excited that this is happening. We think this is the right move.
Very excited to see this. I think this might give the most perceptive players some, added bonuses using this information to their benefit. Brilliant stuff. Thank you for coming on. Read the devblog that's coming out tonight, right after the show, and try this out on CC. Thank you for coming on, Arrow.
Thank you.
And now we're going to go and see a Fanfest developer spotlight, talking to some of the key people behind our events, and particularly Fanfest, and see some of the elements that go into putting together a big show like that. Let's check it out, and we'll be back with more guests.
I am CCP Arnarvi. I'm a senior video producer and the director of EFTV, and I'm currently standing in our studio. And over here we usually broadcast the Alliance tournament, and we film our more recent EVE Flight Academy, our tutorial videos. But over here we film the 07 show. I'm usually behind the camera shooting these kinds of videos. But for this segment, I want to tell you a little bit about our EVE TV productions. Fanfest is my favorite time of the year, and it's also the biggest production for EVE TV. There's a lot that goes into producing an event of that size. There are 4 lecture halls that need to be filmed, as well as 2 sets in the hallway where we do the interviews in between presentations. It's been quite a challenge to set everything up for the live broadcast at the venue Harpa, and for that we're using a lot of equipment. Here's a little diagram I did to help me visualize the requirements and make sure I didn't leave anything out. For a big and complicated broadcast like this, we need a lot of talented people, and there are 26 working on the Fanfest broadcast. This year we'll also have a small roaming crew to shoot interesting segments to show in between presentations. Here is CCP Loki to tell you more about that.
That's right. We'll be walking around the venue with a dedicated crew, capturing interviews, allowing people to do shout-outs, whatever, just trying to get the general atmosphere of the Fanfest in here. But we will also be out there. That's right, out in the wild, capturing the pub crawl of venue parties and just trying to deliver the whole Fanfest experience to you at home in our HD stream. And I encourage players who will be here at Fanfest to approach us. We will be very approachable, open for questions, doing interviews, whatever. We will edit these as we go and put them out as fast as we can.
This year we're doing more for the stream than ever before, and to top it off, we'll not be charging for the HD stream. So you can watch all of Fanfest on Twitch TV for free in high definition.
Hi, I am CCP Legion, and I'm the program director for Fanfest, which means I'm responsible for putting together the Fanfest program. Now, working on the Fanfest program is an extremely exciting thing. It can be basically divided into 2 parts. The first part is to talk to a lot of people and get an idea of what do we actually want to have this year at Fanfest. Now, this involves talking to a lot of different developers, and there's some challenges that I face here. CCP is a company that makes computer games. Per se, we're not exactly full of people who are excited and confident to go in front of 1,000 people and have a presentation. Now, having said that, there's a lot of people who step up, kind of get out of their comfort zone and do presentations and roundtables. You can think of making the schedule as playing with a Rubik's Cube. Every time you twist one piece into place, 2 others fall out. And then you keep twisting and turning, and eventually you will get a schedule that makes the most sense. It might not be perfect, but it's as good as we can get. This year at Fanfest, we'll have around 50 roundtables, which is 10 more than last year. We'll have around 30 CCP-hosted presentations. And this year, we also have around 16 player-hosted presentations. And this is something completely new, as last year we only had 3. And if it goes well, it's something we're hoping to repeat again next year. We also have 3 keynotes, and they will be slightly streamlined this year. But for those, there's a whole different producer, as they are a huge task to put together. So overall, there's a lot of interesting stuff that happens for Fanfest, and there's a lot of planning, a lot of details to take into account. Some of it is somewhat mundane, but there's also some very exciting and fun projects that we get to work on. One of these is something that you will be able to enjoy at Fanfest, and it is called the Brew Eden Collection, and we'll be giving you more details on that pretty soon.
Fanfest is by far our biggest annual event, and it's actually one of the biggest annual events taking place here in Harpa. The planning for a big event as Fanfest is pretty much takes place through the entire year. So right after Fanfest 14 ended, I started planning for Fanfest 2015. There is a lot of things that you need to be aware of and you need to think about before planning a big event like this. And what we're trying to do is to make the EVE experience go way beyond Fanfest and this glass box, so to speak. So we want the Fanfest experience to start as soon as you step on board the Icelandair airplane, and when you arrive to the airport, and when you go to the flight bus. And I'm pretty sure that you will notice it once you arrive to Iceland. We are always trying to expand the Fanfest service and the experience, so that as soon as you arrive to Iceland, you're in the Fanfest mode and you can do fun stuff with other players throughout the 4 or 5 days that you're spending here in Reykjavik.
Back, I'm CCP Mimic, and joining me in the studio this time is CCP Fozzie. So hi and welcome. I want to speak to you about things that have been put in motion a while ago and are going forward, and you're just about to be able to release a little bit more about what you're actually going on. So let's first look back at, I suppose we'll call it phase 1 with Phoebe and the changes that came in then.
Yeah, so I guess I can just let people know what we're talking about. My team, Team 5.0, besides working on corps and alliances, which we've talked a lot about what we're doing, we're also working on sovereignty in nullsec. And a lot of our work recently has been going into this. We've been doing a lot of design work and talking to the CSM and getting stuff ready to show you, everyone out there. And we are now ready to say that we have a blog, 2 blogs actually, ready to release early next week. And the 2 blogs... And I believe
they take quite a lot to read through them. They're rather substantial blogs.
Yes.
But it's a big subject and something that's important to a great deal of people. So I think that it's worth the time. I know you spend a lot of time trying to get them just right.
Yeah.
But before we go into what's included in those blogs, why don't you just tell us a little bit more about where we came from and the first starts and the first changes that we made?
The first blog is about that, and it's the first blog is looking back on phase 1 of our nullsec changes. So this is the path that we set forward with in Phoebe, and we released a dev blog at the beginning of October that talked about that as phase 1 and that phase 2 would be coming in 2015.
Yeah.
And phase 2 is what's going to be coming up next, but first we wanted to talk a little bit about how phase 1 has gone, see what the effects of that have been, what we can learn from it, and where we are basically now launching off to phase 2.
And I believe we've got some graphs to show a little bit about what you're actually talking about. So how has it gone? Has it been the way that you've expected? Has it been the way that the community has expected?
I think people in the community expected a very wide variety of things. Overall, we've been quite happy with the results. We're going to be showing a lot of stats in the devblog. I've got 3 graphs to show as a preview of that devblog here on the show.
Okay.
The first one of them talks or shows the total number of characters in nullsec. So this is active characters on subscribed accounts located in nullsec by day, normal or kind of with a average over the last couple of weeks. And this is the graph here. This is actually
rather static, I would say.
Yes.
Rather stable is probably the better word.
So this is looking back to kind of the middle of 2013, and we actually don't see, of course, very dramatic changes compared to the overall population, because the overall population is huge.
Yes.
But the little, uptick, we actually have a different version of this that has arrows to show you when releases were, but you'll see that there is an uptick about maybe 4/5 of the way along. That's when we released Phoebe. So we actually saw a pretty significant increase right away of the number of characters active in nullsec after Phoebe. And we've been seeing steady growth since then. So that's the stat that we're actually very happy with. That's the kind of results we wanted to see.
Yeah.
And that, because it's characters, it's a combination of people moving to nullsec, of people that already live in nullsec but maybe have some of their characters in nullsec, some in highsec, moving more of their characters to nullsec. People that were unsubscribed in nullsec, resubscribing. All of those would contribute to this, and all of those would be what we would consider good results from phase 1.
Yes.
So ideally, as phase 2 goes forward, we'll be seeing more of that. More steady growth is what we'll be looking for.
Okay, and what else can you tell us about the life of nullsec? I mean, I know that you have another graph coming up just now, and what else can you, what's the word I'm looking for? Indicators. What other indicators would you say you need to see that the system is working the way that it should be?
The next graph we've got is PvP kills in nullsec, and this is, of course, a very, very important stat in EVE.
Yes.
PvP drives a lot of the gameplay and then drives the economy as ships get destroyed. And so we wanted to see with the kind of reduction in range and projection of capital ships, that people would be more free to be able to engage in PvP, and that we would spark more conflict as people try to take over new space. And that's what we've been seeing here. So in this case, the increase, the spike that you see again partway down towards the end of the graph, that is also the release of Phoebe. So we've had a new normal of PvP kills per day that's much higher than it was before Phoebe in nullsec. And there's a lot of that going on, especially in the south, as there's a lot of space there that has been left in a bit of a power vacuum, and new groups have come in to take it. And there's also been a huge amount of conflict around brave newbies and their space and catch. So there's been a whole lot of explosions going on. And of course, some players might say that they're not seeing that amount of PvP around them. It is, at the moment, fairly localized in the south, so people that live in other areas may not be experiencing it as much. We're hoping that as we move into phase 2, it's going to shake up not just some parts of nullsec, but all of nullsec.
Okay. Yes, definitely something that we are looking forward to the blog, especially with much more detail in what's actually happening and what you can see that's happened lastly. And now all of this, I believe you not only discussing in the blogs, but there's going to be a presentation and further discussion both following the blogs and also going into Fanfest.
Yes. So we're ready actually to announce what we've been working on for phase 2 in the second of the 2 blogs. So the first one looks back, second one looks forward. It'll give things like our target release date of these changes, the full design. This is design that we've been refining for a little while. We've been talking to CSM about for a little while. Right now, the blog is being reviewed both internally and by the CSM. This blog, like you said, is pretty long. At the moment, this current draft is just under 7,400 words.
Oh, wow.
So apologies to people who don't like reading long blogs, but nullsec is a big fucking deal. And the changes we're making are not small. So it requires a lot of words to talk about them.
And I think that that's something that everybody can agree is that the way that it's been so far, everyone's realized that something big has to happen, something big has to change. And I'm glad that you are publishing both what's happened before and looking at not just the changes that you've made, but how you interpret them and how that's now feeding into the designs and the discussions that you're going to go forward. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I think that it's probably going to cause quite a lot of discussion going forward.
I'm sure it will, and that's what we're counting on. This is the point where we're now entering the public feedback phase of this design, where we want all the players' feedback. We're going to be getting that on the forums, we're going to be getting that at Fanfest, and listening to what players have to say. And I think people are going to be very excited with what we're going to be presenting next week.
But this is good, this is good. So please keep an eye out for the blogs, but also obviously we're going to stream the presentation from Fanfest,
yep.
and some of the discussions that are going to come, obviously that have fed into that, because I'm sure things will change as they often do.
Yep. Even though Fanfest isn't that far away, I'm sure that we're going to be making updates to the plan even by then, based on feedback we get from the blog. So we'll be presenting kind of the most recent version of the changes in that presentation at Fanfest.
Okay. And when can people expect these blogs?
They're going to be coming out early next week. So right now we're making sure that we give enough time for feedback, both from people within the company and from the CSM, and we're getting ready to unveil them all to the whole public next week.
This is fantastic. Well, thank you very much for letting us know, and we will be back just after these messages.
Winning. Hashtag. Talking about it in public, I don't even care. Hashtag. Guys, I have a skiff tackled, 19 jumps out. Hashtag.
EVE engineering is more than just industry. We support the future prosperity of our member corporations through Operation White Care Bear, which supplies boosts to miners, and Operation Foreclosure, a moon development project. We believe the best way to predict the future is to create it through exploration of new frontiers.
Those are some really amazing player-created ads. Really cool. Keep them coming. We'll put them up. But next, we're going to go and talk to Wingspan TT. We talked to him a few days ago. He's been making videos. Let's see what he has to say.
We are here with Torpedo Delivery Man and video maker Wingspan TT. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys, for having me.
So, first, how did you get into making videos, and what kind of drives you to make these videos? Because I know it's a lot of work.
I've been making YouTube videos since 2008. I've always been interested in stealth games, TF2, Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, and now EVE with the stealth bombers. And I just really find the stories and the setup and the narrative interesting, not just the moment of killing someone, but the whole cloaky, stalky lead up and the insane paranoia that goes through like my head before that happens. I like to share that.
Great, and you have quite, your videos have quite a long format usually, because you tend to tell a story, and you were telling us a little bit before that you've got something planned in the future. Can you tell us a bit more?
Oh, well, I'm working on a couple different story arcs right now. Some things that my corporation, Wingspan Delivery Services, and I have done, where we're, camping a system for weeks or months at a time, and kind of the events that happen in and out of game during that whole period. It's very daunting. I have a lot of footage to go through, hundreds of files.
So tell us about the technical side. What software do you use? What kind of equipment? How long does it take you to make these videos? That kind of stuff.
Sure. So to record, I use actually NVIDIA Shadowplay, which is available for free for anyone who has a higher level NVIDIA card. I use my Plantronics Gamecom 780 headset for audio, which I love this thing. It's a little ugly, but it does the job. I use Adobe Creative Suite, Premiere, Photoshop, Illustrator and stuff for all the graphics. And I use Audacity for some of the audio cleanup sometimes for noise reduction, things like that. And generally, the time it takes to make videos varies wildly. It can be an hour, it could be 10 hours. It really depends. And I'm sure the longer ones take more than that, but I can't track it, or I just start feeling bad for myself.
So is there any advice that you'd give to anyone else who's just starting out or has always decided that this was something that they'd like to try?
I feel like a lot of people are nervous about starting videos. They ask me for advice, but I think the thing you have to do is just do it, get your voice in there, get your story in there. Don't, be afraid about how people are going to perceive your face or your voice or anything, because, hey, you can always delete the videos if they turn out badly, but if they turn out great, it'll be amazing.
So you must get a lot of reactions from fans of your videos. What are the favorite reactions that you get?
My favorite reaction is when people tell me that they've been inspired by what we're doing, our torpedo delivery service, that they jumped in a stealth bomber themselves, went out to spooky space and tried to kill someone. Usually they die, but hey, that's part of the fun. I just like to know that we're inspiring copycats.
You were one of the players featured in This Is Eve, the monumental trailer we put out before Christmas. How was that experience for you?
That was really fun. It came out amazingly. Obviously, the whole thing was a masterpiece. And actually, the guys in my office saw that while I was out on vacation. They saw the trailer on iTunes or something, and they start emailing me. Did you know you were in this commercial? Oh my God, we saw you in commercial. I'm like, yes, I know. But that was really cool to have that experience. And kudos to you guys, because obviously, it was just a brilliant video, brilliant trailer.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us and having a chat with us. We really love your work and we hope to see more of it in the future.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, that was Wingspan, and from one video content creator to the next, I just want to give a quick shout out to the EVE customer support team who've been creating the EVE Flight Academy. So if you haven't checked out those tutorial videos, definitely do and subscribe to the channel. There's much more coming. We've got a lot to cover. So please just point new bros in that direction.
Really fantastic stuff. But things have been happening in space. We had the 2-year anniversary of the Battle of Asuka. It's been 2 years already, one of the most historic events in EVE's history. And our friend, No Way, he made a GIF to commemorate this great event. And it's just beautiful. What can we say?
Sparkly and everything.
Yeah, and it's also historically correct for those of you who were there. That's what it looked like. That dove was there for real, and it just got on so many kill mills. It's a crazy dove. But we also like solo PvP. The big battles are nice, but we also like solo PvP because it shows like what one person can do, sometimes even against many opponents. So we found Skyflyer on YouTube. He made some videos over a year ago, and now he's back in a video called The Return of Skyflyer in his Cruising Land series. And it's a really good video. It's like 20 minutes of like hardcore PvP action. Sometimes he's fighting so many people that it's almost like he's running a level 4 mission. It's he's just farming people.
That's really impressive.
Stuff. Good thing to learn from. So
definitely. And before we launch into all the hype, I just want to give a quick shout out to High Drag Podcast, who are recording their 50th episode this evening, actually. So definitely tune into that.
Keep up the good work.
But moving fast on, because there's only 20 days until Fanfest.
20 days until Fanfest. That's so crazy. And this will be our second biggest Fanfest of all time, or even the biggest if ticket sales keep going, because we've sold over 1,100 tickets now, and they're still selling. There's still tickets left, hotels, flights, all that good stuff. It's the best time of the year for everybody.
Exactly, and we're going to be showing all the presentations and behind the scenes and interviews and all sorts of things here on the stream. So that reminds me that this Sunday is the cutoff point if you want to apply to be one of the EVE TV presenters. There's going to be 5 of us dev presenters, but we want to talk to you and let the players have a chance to interview devs or interview other players. Or if you've got something that you want us to talk about, then please just email us on evetv@ccpgames.com, and then we'll be able to sort that out. And that cutoff is on Sunday.
Really, really good stuff. We look forward to working with you, of course. And the CSM election.
Yes.
The CSM election kicked off yesterday. It's breaking all kinds of records. 75 candidates on the ballot. And how many votes were cast in the
Well,
First 12
in the
hours?
first 12 hours, there were 13,064 votes cast. But of course, that's not everybody yet. So if you haven't voted yet, then now is your chance. You definitely do. And of course, with so many candidates, it's a little bit hard to find out who's going on.
So luckily, our friend Deirdre Val from Eve Amsterdam and former CSMs, he has made a tool called Vote Match with official support from CCP this year. And you can go and check out if your priorities line up particularly well with those of some of the candidates. Find your favorite candidate who you want representing you both in space and at CCP headquarters.
Definitely. And of course, the results are going to be shown live on the stream during the Eve keynote on Thursday, the 19th of March. Which, of course, as we mentioned earlier in the show, is going to be free this year, the HD stream. But what's that? I hear you cry. Where are all your goodies? Have no fear. We've thought of that too.
We've thought of everything, because usually we sell the HD stream for a Plex, and then you get the Fanfest chips with it, or Fanfest chip. Now we have 3 Fanfest chips. So we've devised a plan for you guys to get it anyway. So we're going to have subscription offers coming out in the week leading up to Fanfest, and they're going to be accessible to you, whatever subscription plan you're currently on. So if you're going to be playing Eve anyway, why not get a little bit of extra time up there and fly in some beautiful Quave ships along the way. And you can also buy them for risk in game, because some people will probably sell them. So
yes, you can do that. And talking about flying around, there have been some terrors in the darkness lately. And luckily, Scope have been bringing us reports on these, which have been shown in the launcher in the top right-hand corner. So if you haven't been checking out the Scope videos, then definitely do so.
Really
because they've been looking at what's been going on in game, and also what the community has been thinking about. But don't worry, there's more to come, and I believe 1,093 pilots have died at their evil hand so far. But
that's a lot.
CCP Affinity has a dev blog coming out tomorrow, so just hold on just a little bit and definitely keep an eye out for that, because it's got lots more detail on what's going on.
I'm totally scared of those drifters. Check under my bed every night. Scary dudes. But
around the world.
Around the world. Let's go around the world. In some parts of Russia, at least, people are celebrating these days because Red Alliance just turned 10, which is a pretty cool event. Like an alliance in Eve turning 10. They were founded in 2005. So they had a party. Here we see them celebrating. And they even baked a cake. Because when you turn 10, you have to have cake. So good times over there. And congratulations. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Red Alliance. It just doesn't sound right. But yes. Anyway, from the Russians onto the French. What have the French been up to?
The French community is doing really good things. There's a lot of stories coming out of the French community these days. The biggest one probably that the Ceti Federation is back.
Who is the Ceti?
No wonder you ask. They were there probably before your time. They're a blast from the past. They used to fight alongside Red Alliance and Goon Swarm in the Great War against Bob. They came out of the southeast of EVE Online and in the EVE universe, and were fighting the big, strong empire of the time, Bob, who were at one point deemed unbeatable, but they were beat in the end. Then Tau Ceti went away, but now they're back, and I think that really just shows how much power is in the French community these days, which is amazing to see.
Well, welcome back, Tau Ceti.
Yeah.
And on a personal note, what else has been happening with the French?
Yes, we have big alliances coming back. We also have some interesting projects happening. I talked to the creator of EVE Corp Center yesterday. It's an interesting program that's being made and is slated for summer release. Still being built, not out yet, but they have a website, they have a Twitter account, they have a newsletter that I've signed up to, because I want to keep tabs on this. What they're going to do is make a program for you to kind of interact and control your corp from outside the client. Third-party development's awesome. So if you're in a boring meeting at work or on the bus or something, maybe you can do something with your corp instead.
Yeah.
It's really nice. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that.
I'm looking forward to that. But one last thing from the French community is the fact that they're having a player gathering in Paris in March, which they have called Jambon Beurre Fromage Putain, which I'm sorry that I'm murdering your beautiful language, but that's the limit of my French. So yes.
I'm sure it means something really sophisticated. It sounds
I hope so.
Really sophisticated.
It sounds good. I know the first 3 words, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But yes, no current affairs segment would be complete without me mentioning my beloved Australians. So I just want to give a shout out to Kira, who is organizing a Sydney meet on March the 21st, which is of course the last day of Fanfest. So we're going to be partying here and they're going to be partying there. And we suggest that all of you in between get together and let us know what you're doing to celebrate Eve.
Give us a shout out. We'll give you a shout out. Let's make it a global party.
Exactly. Well, that's all of it for our news. But what are we going on to next? So I know you're terribly excited.
I'm terribly excited. I can't contain it. It's this is something we've been working on. I think it's pretty funny. We call it the Celebrity Shootout. Why do we call it that? Because we take two players who have a claim to fame in EVE Online, and we pitch them against each other in deadly battle with their reputations on the line for your entertainment. And if they aren't celebrities now, they will be after this.
Okay, and who are we actually going to be seeing fighting this time?
This first fight will be between two renowned fleet commanders, Elise Randolph from Pandemic Legion and ProGodLegend from Nulli Secunda. These two men are used to telling others what to do. Now we get to see what they can do on their own under some seriously unfair conditions, because the rules are simple, but they're not exactly fair. We throw at them a random selection of ships, in this case 4 attack cruisers to choose from, and then an ungodly pile of modules and drones and rigs and ammo and all that stuff, and they get 2 minutes to fit. 2 minutes, and you get to see them fit and then fight. During the fitting phase that you'll get to witness, they didn't hear each other, but you get to hear what they had to say, and it's we think it's pretty hilarious. We hope you like it, and yeah, we'll be back after this.
Alrighty, here we go.
Alright, do I have to start putting up? Oh shit, are you serious?
Dunkerino set. I've got some caracols, Omen, Stabber, Thorax. Okay. Alright, so if I take the caracol, it'll just be a kiting mess. Same with the
no way.
The Stabber. Pretty sure ProGod's gonna take a Thorax, because I mean,
alright, let's at least get a prop mod on so I can run away.
So let's see, I'm gonna take an Omen.
Let's start with the basics.
I'm gonna take a Stabber. I'm feeling Stabber. Alright,
okay,
choice is selected.
And now we got guns, I guess.
1 minute and 30 seconds. That is suboptimal. So, no panic.
Okay.
D1 modules.
All tech one.
So we can game our setup a little bit because we know he's going to be taking kinetic, right? So,
oh my god.
Take a kinetic card in there. Let's take a thermic card in there just to be safe. And let's see, we got some plate action going on. That looks pretty good. I'm just going to drag that over here. And medium armor repair. Yeah, why not? Why not?
No.
Sounds pretty strong. Wait, no, that's pretty garbagey, but whatever. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna
wait, I don't need that. Oh my god.
So we need prop mods.
300.
10 MA.
800.
That works. He's gonna be sort of running around.
This is a terrible idea. I immediately regret
Actually, you know what? We're gonna take this off. We're gonna go.
Oh man. I can't even.
Like thermic hardener off. Put damage control on. There we go. Okay, so we get the coolest damage control we can get. Cause that's what 10 seconds.
No.
Oh god. Oh no. Oh no.
No. I'm gonna lose.
10 seconds. Oh god, I don't have ammo or drones. Oh no. My screen's broke. Where's the stuff?
All right, undock.
They are undocking. This is on. It's happening. And by the sounds of it, they have the most amazing fit.
Welcome to our first ever Celebrity Shootout. This is Elise Randolph versus ProGodLegend, and they are going to be undocking in Tech 1 attack cruisers. Both sides did manage to fit weapons. That isn't a given in this kind of format. They were only given 2 minutes to fit their ships, and I know it was a pretty panicked experience. It's tough, very tough.
I spent 30 seconds debating whether the Omen actually had 5 turret slots or not, so.
2 minutes, it's not a lot of time to fit the perfect fit, but we'll see how they do.
All right, neither has started firing yet. They are now getting ready to engage. We have drones dropped from Elise Randolph Stabber. The Omen of ProGodLegend approaching quickly, and we'll see, there you go, fire has now begun. I should probably lock them up to see how much damage they're doing.
All right, he's missing me. He's hitting me with standard. This is good.
All right, these are both very fast ships. Piloting is going to be a very big part of this battle. Both of them have pretty good range. They have to stay pretty close to the center beacon, or else CCP Gargant, our referee, will teleport them on top of each other.
Flying directly in the way he wants me.
There's the center beacon? Oh.
All right, so Elise Randolph is getting through his shields. He's into armor. We'll see how he's tanked, whether he's going to be armor tanked or shield tanking.
Yeah.
Oh, we're also seeing some shield damage now being applied to ProGodLegend. There you go. Damage is now, this is the first damage we've seen applied to ProGodLegend yet. At least Randolph is now turning back towards the beacon.
But it's coming in pretty fast, but at least
yes, damn it, God damn it. If I get scrammed, I'm gonna kill you. Oh, I hate you so much. Why would you do that?
ProGodLegend moved too far away, so got teleported on top of his opponent. That being said, he is doing pretty well.
Yep.
ProGod is going through shields, but Elise is going through armor, and we're gonna have to see how well the two ships can tank. We're not seeing any hardeners online for either one of them yet.
Maybe they forgot to fit them.
It's very possible. And when I've seen this format done before, you've done under.
I believe they're talking about how poorly fit my ship is.
Let me see. Guys, how many empty slots do you each have?
A lot. And I have no rigs, so.
I mean, you both managed to fit guns and ammo, which is better than a lot of the people doing this kind of format that I've seen.
Yeah, that is already showing some elite skills right there.
All right, ProGod's all the way through shields. We'll see if that slows him down too much, but Elise is getting very low armor, very low at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no good.
Structure approaching.
Yep, so at the moment I'd say advantage to ProGodLegend. We'll have to see how well his armor tank holds up. It is dropping faster than his shield did, but it looks like Elise is on reload right now.
ProGod does call himself the Da Vinci of ship fitting, so there's that.
Yes. Well,
Da Vinci, I don't think Da Vinci would be proud of this.
What happens when Da Vinci gets under huge time pressure? He's given 2 minutes to make a painting.
Yeah.
Kite him a little bit.
All right, so the two are still firing each other. Again, these are like Tech 1 weapons, so there's no Scorch involved. The range is dictated just by your standard ammo choices.
This may not be the definite proof of which ship is better, but fittings play a big part in this. And
yes, it does. So Elise is now dropping through low structure.
Shit, I'm out of cap.
How do you feel about this, Elise?
I'm out of cap.
Low structure. Are we about to see the first winner of a Celebrity Shootout?
Oh, very
I don't know. I'm out of cap and I can't kite anymore. This is not good.
I don't have a damage control. Okay, he is moving again. This is not good.
All right, so ProGod ran out of cap there. Wasn't able to fire his guns
shooting
for a
again.
while.
At least I'm shooting again. Ooh!
Elise down. And our first ever Celebrity Shootout champion is ProGodLegend.
Oh, congratulations. That was
good job to both of you. Now, that means that we will be going on a roam after the 07 show this week in a Omen fit with whatever ProGod's got on that thing.
So
you get four Tech 1 heavy beam lasers. Congrats.
Not bad.
So if anyone dares to come to low second meet us later, then
you'll probably win.
Yeah. We probably won't do as well as ProGodLegend, but we'll see.
There you go.
But this has been fun. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Great fight, and we'll see you later. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that as much as me and Fozzie did filming it, and it was pretty fun. And as you heard, we have been doomed by ProGodLegend, the winner of this fight, to go out in his, interestingly fit Omen later to Old Man Star. So 3 of us are going to Old Man Star later to fight, and you can come and find us, and maybe we'll throw in some prizes for kills if you get us, which I doubt. But we have CCP Rise with us. Welcome, CCP Rise.
Thanks. How's it going? It's nice to be here.
Yeah, it's always good to have you on the show. But what have you been working on lately?
So mostly lately I'm working on the new player experience. We just put a blog out about our work on that a couple days ago, and today we actually started putting it in the hands of people on Tranquility. So we're pretty excited about that. We can't wait to see what happens and what people think of it once we actually see new players using it.
But you have been working on other things as well, hence the...
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry.
All right, we had some sound problems, but we're back with CCP Rise, I hope.
I hope so.
Yes, live television, it's always
Yay.
fun. But you're working on the new player experience, as you said. It's going to players, and we're super excited about it. But we're not here to talk about that.
No, because I already talked about that on the blog, and people know about that, and that's great. But yeah, we have some other things to talk about.
It relates to the tool slung over your shoulder in a very manly fashion.
Apparently, this tool, was passed along from CCP Zulu ye old ship balancer, and passed from him to Fozzie, and Fozzie insisted that today was the day for it on the show. So
it's a good day, yeah. And it has the blood of many drakes on it.
yeah, encrusted with the sorrow of hurricanes and whatever else.
All right, so okay, let's talk about rebalancing. You're doing rebalancing these days. What do you want to tell us about first?
All right, well, so we decided to take a look after the CSM Summit at a whole bunch of topics. We've kind of got a lot of things going on in the community, a lot of stuff we've been talking about for a while internally, and yeah, we have kind of a big lineup of things. Let's see, first we could talk about the things players know about. People saw going to some internal test servers they're of course not supposed to look at, as well as Singularity. Starting yesterday, some changes to Tech 3 cruisers. So we are taking them down a notch. They're a little strong, and so even though we have been hoping to do a larger balance pass for some time on Tech 3 cruisers, it's something we still have on the roadmap actually to help with Tech 3 diversity and subsystem viability, some things we've talked about before. For the time being, we're just going to go after the defensive subsystems, basically reducing from 10% bonus HP for Proteus, Legion, and Tengu down to 7.5% for Proteus and Legion, and 5% for the Tengu. And there's a bunch of other kind of associated smaller changes. But that stuff's all posted on the forums on feedback, and you can actually use it on CC. So, and that's where we're starting.
But there's more.
There's more.
There is more.
Yeah. There's one other small thing, some changes to bouncers. Not a huge deal, but that's also public now. But yeah, there's some things we haven't talked about. Let's see. We could talk about railguns.
Medium railguns.
Yeah, we're gonna make a tweak to those, turn their damage down just a bit. They're pretty good. They're contributing a lot to Tengu dominance, but they're also pushing people kind of across the fleet meta into relying on railguns. We overbuffed them slightly, and we have things like MOAs and Vultures and Proteuses and Eagles, along with Tengus, all kind of taking up a lot of the control of the fleet meta, and so we want to tune them down a bit, make some room for some other weapon systems. So that's one thing.
That's good. Diversity is good.
Yeah, that's a big thing we're always striving for.
What happens?
Is diversity.
People find the best things, and then you gotta turn them down a little bit.
Yeah, actually, while you mentioned that, I wanted to give a quick shout out. I don't even remember where. I think it's on Crossing Zebra's site, but someone wrote an article a couple weeks ago. You can find me tweeting about it a few days back, about how people will find the best thing, often then end up making a case that the best thing is too good, and that's just a really interesting dynamic we have to work with. But the article is great. I just wanted to give a quick shout out.
Yeah.
I don't remember who wrote it or where it is, but I liked it a lot. So just thought I'd mention that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, I saw some calls on Twitch chat about Skynet. Did I hear you talk about Skynet?
Should we talk about Skynet?
Let's talk about Skynet. What are you doing about Skynet?
You could say Skynet is getting a bad application kind of above and beyond.
Okay.
So if you're not familiar, Skynet is a tactic that's grown in popularity recently, especially as it's been kind of publicized how strong it is. It's actually been possible for a long time, but it's grown a lot recently. It's basically assigning fighters from a carrier or supercarrier to a small fast ship, and then leaving the carrier next to your starbase shields. So you have interceptors or even shuttles doing thousands and thousands of DPS while the carrier sits in relative safety. And we don't like that any more than the players who've been really upset about it for a little while now. And so we're going to delete it.
Wow.
We're actually probably just going to remove fighter assist as a mechanic, and possibly also remove fighter warping as a mechanic, so that without the assist capability, you don't also have to deal with the inconvenience of having your fighters leave the grid when you're trying to actually kill something with your carrier.
So big changes.
Yeah, big change there.
To those tactics.
Yes, and we hope people are happy about that. That's actually the one where we're most kind of unsure about the way the feedback will pan out. It is a big change, and there's a lot of potential applications to fighter assist, and we want to keep all those in mind. So this is detailed more in the devblog that's coming out tomorrow or Monday, and there'll be a forum thread where we can get feedback on that as well.
Take the feedback, and then final decisions will be made based on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
And that's everything.
Yeah, that's everything. Well, thank you for listening to all of our nerds.
Wait.
There's one more thing.
Yeah,
there's one more thing.
Something you players love to talk about.
Yeah, something. It reminds me of a movie I once saw.
Does it?
Yeah, it's like it's a movie from I think 1987, starring Warren Beatty, Dustin Hoffman. Had a singing camel
right
on the cover.
Tip of my tongue.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of karaoke in that movie.
Yeah, a lot of karaoke.
That's right.
What was it called again?
Oh, it's called Ishtar.
Ishtar, yes. And
that's the one.
Incidentally, have a ship named the Ishtar.
Yeah.
And it's been hotly debated.
It has. It's a ship that, since a rebalance pass a little while back, picked up some Sentry projection and application bonuses, Sentry optimal range and tracking, which it turns out is a really powerful bonus. We did revisit it with some small tweaks a little while back, slowed it down among some other small things. But as we've continued to sort of take stock of the effect of the Ishtar, as players have been calling for, it's really continued to grow in its dominance, and to a point that we're not really okay with. So I actually have a graph. I know how much everyone loves graphs. You can see here, this is a graph of damage over time for a selection of ships that are have been popular fleet ships in EVE, and just their total damage on TQ in PvP. I must make that qualification. This is PvP damage. I don't have the ship types here, but you can see the one that's crazy above everything else nearest to the present. That's the Ishtar. You can see the kind of teal green below it is the Tengu, and then across the rest of the graph you have things like the Dominics. I think that's the pink underneath the Tengu, and going further back where you see at the left end of the graph, it's things like the Maelstrom, the Hurricane, the Drake, bunch of old popular doctrine ships. And you can see we're basically in a place where the Ishtar is just doing an obscene majority of the PvP damage on TQ, and that's partly about its popularity in fleets, but it's also just that it works really well in a ton of environments. It's unlike a lot of EVE ships that kind of have a niche where they're particularly strong, the Ishtar is really just good at everything, and that's not ideal. That diversity thing we were talking about. So the plan, which again is detailed a little bit more in the blog tomorrow as to why we're going with this for now, but we're looking at lowering the, taking the drone damage bonus, which is currently 10%, and lowering it to 5% per level for sentries. So that's going to take down the effective damage of sentry using Ishtars pretty significantly by, around a quarter, fifth, something like that. So we're going to see how that goes.
It's going to be interesting to see, and the blog is coming out tomorrow or Monday, and
I think it's tomorrow.
I think it's tomorrow. Good, good. Sooner the better. And we have a blog coming out tonight about the overrebalance this tomorrow. The soft blog coming out
so much happening
early next week. Lots happening. And you guys have a lot of feedback to give us, and we, can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as always, this stuff is all scheduled for Scylla, but we have plenty of time for feedback, and we'll definitely be listening in to see what you guys say.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on the show. This has been really enlightening, and I think mostly good news that people are happy to hear. But we'll go now and listen to an interview we did with another famous video maker, JonnyPew, who's been making really good educational, entertaining videos. And then we're going to be back, and we're going to go on. We're going to finish the show with a PvP roam in Old Man Star. So if you're not an Old Man Star, come get some. See you there.
Hey there, my name is JonnyPew, in-game character name Sir Livingston.
Perfect. Just the way we like it. So, tell us a little bit about your video making. You've been making a lot of videos since, 2012, I think? And we know it's a lot of work, so we're interested in knowing, what drives you, and what is kind of the goal of your video making?
Well, I really started in December 2011. Early December, and the whole reason why I started because I wanted to get into exploration in EVE Online, and there just wasn't much video content out there for me to watch as a willing player to learn that aspect of the game. So I decided to start just doing it myself, and it's been going since then on, just trying to teach people what I've been learning as I go. Now I'm just a veteran of exploration, and I can teach people like I've just been doing it for years, which I have. And so it's been a real nice progression that way. I went from a newbie to a veteran, and now I can teach everybody and fulfill what I was looking for years ago. Now I can make those videos. It's really satisfying.
Do you have a favorite video?
Not currently, no. I do like watching my old videos where I had some kind of PvP interaction with someone else. I can see how terrible I was and mistakes I made and how much better I've done. And so the ones I like best are actually my PvP videos. I don't have many, but the ones that I've done, I really like going back and watching, how I progressed. Yeah. Hopefully I'll have more PvP videos to come in the future as well.
What are you working on right now, and do you have any big plans for the future?
Currently, I'm working on not a video, but the idea of video. So I'm trying to think of cheap, effective PvP ships to take out into low sec and try and get into solo engagements. It's very much an uphill battle from what I've heard, and I've experienced it firsthand. So I'm taking my time thinking about how I'm going to approach it. But I really need to stop thinking about it and just undock and go at it, because that's where you get the real fun.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. Thanks for being on. It's been great. We look forward to your future videos and see you on the internet.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. We are just setting up to go fight in space.
Yeah, so right here we have 3 machines set up. All 3 of these are piloting the same setup exactly that ProGodLegend used to win the first Celebrity Shootout. So it's a 4-gun Omen that's like maybe 2/3 fit, and it was good enough to beat a no-ammo stabber. Will it be good enough to take on all of Old Man Star? That is the question we're about to answer.
My answer is yes. My logic is this: we have a fitting from ProGodLegend, and
he is the Da Vinci of ship fittings.
Yes, exactly. And we have CCP Rise, formerly Keel 2, FCing us here, and we have you to give us good advice. How can
you will, and you'll be able to see his screen on the stream, but unfortunately you can't see ours. Haha. Now you probably can.
There we go. So now it looks like Rise has now undocked in Old Man Star. The other 2 are in station and are about to undock. So you're going to be seeing 3 of our Omens in space. Welcome to everyone who's already moved to Old Man Star since we let you guys know about that.
Who is primary?
I'm, as always, just running away by myself. Like, first FC order, try to get off this grid. Like, warp somewhere as soon as you can. Okay, someone's getting attacked.
Me. It's me.
You can probably
It's always
dock
me.
if you want. And
Just dock.
No, you're going to be scrambled.
I know, I'm dead.
You can hit the dock button and read
Oh no, someone's attacking me! It's this guy. Jeez, I didn't have any time to set up my plan. That's the only reason I'm doing badly here.
Still have a ship though, you can always redock.
The success I enjoyed last
We put you guys in
taking
kick-out
this guy
station.
out.
I don't know.
Probably.
Taking
Mimic
this
was
guy
able to
out.
redock at least.
Hey, cool.
So Rise is in space. You
I
guys
am-
in Old Man Star, find him. He's the one actually.
Go chase him so I can get out.
Oh no! Don't kill me! No! Capsule ejected.
See if you can get your tot out. Man, CCP Guard corpses, those are valuable. You shouldn't let these guys have those.
I really want to be mean to ProGod about having to use this ship, but I actually tried this once, fitting a ship in 2 minutes.
It's really hard.
At a small event called Down Under, and it was a nightmare, and I got destroyed. So.
Everyone who does this has trouble doing it.
Wow.
It's always a challenge.
All right,
Maybe I'll get back in.
I've escaped.
No.
All right, so Mimic is once again tackled on the undock. Unfortunately, there is a lot on this undock. We did let the whole University know that this is where we're going to be going. So
that is that's maybe at the
lesson for next
50-something
time.
local.
Don't start in a station. Actually.
Yes.
I think that's our big takeaway here.
Let's do that
We're
next
going to do
time.
this again, so start somewhere else. But
is
like
not
we said,
gonna
we
go
will be giving some prizes to the people who got the final blows on us, or who get the final blows, and not unlike CCP Rise, because he's not.
No one's going to get a final blow on me.
He's
All
just
right.
going to clean out the system, Ron.
So that's Mimic down. We've got 2 out of 3 of our devs down. Unfortunately, even with the amazing ProGodLegend fit, you guys were still able to overwhelm us with numbers. It wasn't skill, it was all numbers.
It was all numbers,
It's a sweeple.
Yeah, so I hear they're really terrible.
Yeah, they're bad. Oh my god, it's Capcoon and Griffin. My life. My life.
Shank Ronukin is the target.
What? Yeah, I'm trying to.
Imperial Navy Slicer. That's
There's the jam.
Get him. Oh, jam.
It's so amazing.
They always jam Rice. It's because they know what he can do.
We should next time just try to find something far away from wherever Capcoo is.
Can we do a
Well, Rod and I
celebrity
tried to distract him, but
death match with me and Capcoo?
Yes. I'm totally on board for commentating that.
Why doesn't my gun have the ammo I want anymore? I unloaded it and now it's not here.
You're not allowed to take
There's only one? What? Whatever.
Something is wrong with the ammo, but at this point, Rise is not tackled yet, but is being damped and jammed.
They're scared, like the people and
whatever.
And he
Slicer won't come in here.
still has all his armor, so I mean,
here's. Sorry for not looking. Here's a whole bunch of people. You can see Cowardly Capku down there in the lower left.
Go and kill him.
The rest of the honorable
that
player.
guy.
I can't kill him. I can't lock him. What is this mechanic? What is my gun doing? Oh, it's off.
We must have nerfed his favorite ship or something.
Hey, it's people.
So,
all right, so now Rise is tackled. The Sveeple of Corpse Driver has gotten a point on him. Unfortunately, the Sveeple is going to have very good EM resist as a Mimitar advanced ship.
Wow.
Otherwise, I'm sure I would have been able to track him with these medium beams.
Your 4-beam
Yeah, would have done fine.
would be great.
Those darn resist.
So there you go.
Wow,
it is
so many people.
on field. We've got Corpse Driver and a Sveeple, Durmakur and a Kestrel.
Hey, it's Gorski Carr and a Rook.
Ah, there we go.
Wow.
Gorski Carr probably pretty happy right now because we did just announce that we're nerfing Skynet into the ground.
This guy. I mean, some people are actual Skynet victims, but Gorski just attacks the same carrier every day.
Yeah, and
it kills him every time, and he's just shocked
every single time. He thinks, I'm sure he doesn't have assigned fighters this time.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually what he does, and then he comes to us as a prestigious CSM member.
Is the structure half full or half empty? What's your take?
At this point, it's about.
This isn't a half.
No, it's
not even half.
Yeah.
All right.
This is not looking great for CCP Rise. Oh yeah.
There we go.
Can I please ask that whoever wins the next celebrity match fits a lot of ECCM?
Yes.
Please.
We'll do something.
So,
we'll do Tech 3 destroyers.
Think about
known for their ability to resist ECM with the sniper mode.
There we go.
Yeah, my ship was killed by Charlie O'Kushki from Bar Noir.
All right.
And I'm gonna take a look at who got my capsule as well.
Too.
There you go. We got 3 more dev corpses out there. Those are valuable commodities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah.
Katie Ackery from the Tuskers got my pot, and I wonder who got my corpse. But for the pot and the ship, I think we'll give out some rewards for each one. We're thinking maybe a copy of the Quave Vexer, which is one of the Fanfest ships. So we'll contact you probably tomorrow, and we'll send you some stuff. But for us, the show has come to an end. This has been really great. It's been great to hang out with you tonight. We hope you see you on the next show. Hope you had fun. And before we go, I just want to remind you all that there is one ship in EVE that will never taste Rise's Nerf bat, and is always shinier than all the others, and that is friendship. But until next time.
It is unless you're my friend, and then you never know.
Yeah. See you later.